Hi. We were talking about guitars that I modified and bought to little or no money whatsoever, and sometimes really no money whatsoever. Sometimes I would buy a broken guitar at the swap meet, and what I did was sometimes they would throw another broken guitar in for free. Sometimes I would pay, I'd pay $5 or $10 for a kind of an Epiphone guitar with a that somebody had broke or smashed or something like that. And I think that's the case with this one. They threw another guitar in with it that didn't cost me any money. This guitar, it was smashed all up on the, it was a Fender acoustical guitar, acoustic box dreadnought guitar that somebody had broke the top and broke the back, and it was no money whatsoever. And I took it, and what I did was, you know, you always think, well, parts, you know, like could I use the bridge off of it, or could I use the nut off of it, or the machine tourniquets, but the neck was pretty good, and the guitar was mostly intact except for it was all smashed on the top and on the bottom. And so what I did was I was doing some kitchen cabinets at the same time and making things fit and stuff, and I took one of the cabinet doors that I took off, and it was made out of ochre, and I cut it down and fit the pieces in here, glued them in there and fit them. And first I cut it with a Max 77 skill saw, and then I put them on a table saw to kind of straighten it out and do some measurements off of it, see if I can get it as straight as I can. And then I used the oak cabinet door and cut it down to the size to fit. And what I did was I glued that in there, and then I had just something off the shelf, off of the shelf in the garage. I took some, I think it was like rosewood that came pretty close. This is rosewood in the back, or you know, some variation. And I do it only just for fun to see what it's gonna do, and yeah, kind of like a little humor sometimes, a little. It's what I have in mind, or like that. But I put it together, and I got a really irritating sound out of it. So it didn't sound like a guitar. It sounded pretty irritating. So I thought, well, what do you do with an irritating? It's not a deep. You make it a slide. Any guitar that doesn't play quite right or doesn't sound really good, you turn them into a slide guitar. And it has that tinny kind of effect. I'll demonstrate that. So I tuned it to a lower chord, a D chord, and I got this out of it, which it's not perfect, but it's kind of fun to make something out of nothing. So. Slide. It's a Robert Johnson riff on there. Blues, that's what I play, is simple blues. But we're talking about guitars.